whisked away from home and shackled in a holding cell. I am naked. There's no breeze. This ain't square one, but I'm feeling like a new man. I can see the others in here with me. Neither are human, but it's casual. One is shackled with a trusty old chain, as I am. The other is a box, rimmed with fangs. I'm not in true light. A faint, bluish illumination from the marbled floor has me seeing little above my shins, as I would recognize. Belly up, I'm translated to infrared. Staring at my fingers, I can see my heat in tight detail. Soothing meshes of pinks, yellows, oranges. It's groovy, but this is too much. It's overwhelming in my new cage. My fellow shackled monstrosity is a mess. I avert my eyes to the box. It stands out. Just a calm, translucent, pink-fanged box. The space between the three of us is empty, yet difficult to eyeball the distance. I can't reach either of them, and I don't trust my eyes to think they're as close as they appear. So this box knows I'm looking at it. The calm tone of its color begins to pulse, to flicker. Its teeth, a stark, cold blue with roots of green, begin to purr, to shimmer. My body responds. I scrounge the smarts to figure this box is cooling incrementally in the wake of a bright strobe. It's like a spotlight on my form bustling from the face of this box. So it's staying there, peacocking, I think. Something doesn't sit right about this, and I have enough give in my restraints that I can throw a punch. A sharp, inward breath to catch a quick, considerate thought. Who knows? And I toss a mean over-the-shoulder haymaker. Damn thing was creeping up on me and catches my heavy hand. Entering it was almost gelatinous, but it had me. In the makeshift lips I've managed to gouge, my submerged hand feels weightless, seeped in mint and impossibly refreshed. I tug. Give it back. The pulse has stopped, and all I can see is filtered through that strange pink body. Like a lens, droops of utmost sadness fall on the other prisoner's face. And I feel my shackles are broken. Maybe I can size this up when I see teeth again. Interrupted, I'm tugged, or have been tugged, and my body is reassured, washed in the total mint sensation that once held my hand. My surroundings don't change. I melt. My arms, legs, and my core. I'm not separating, but the space between my parts are gently merging with this being. I expand. Joyous. Best thing in the galaxy you didn't know you wanted. My heat is spreading, stretched to reinforce our square borders. I'm unwritten, but lovingly preserved. We move. Don't need to be dense anymore, so leaving through walls is simple enough. They're made for it. If anything, I sense my information is making it harder for us to move. It's driving. I'm running. And there's a trust. We come upon a thick space, engulfing an orb. I surround it. My mind is sent flying. I feel Earth, briefly, smells and memories. It's like what I know is focusing my vision. I don't know how to control it, but the pace is slowing, akin to a slot machine. Options seem to dwindle. They're getting warmer, these images. Intimate. My friends, my family. My brother Roy, I can see him sitting around, arrogant, uncaring of his daughter. Yeah, she's visiting him, and a whimper climbs my existence, what my spine and brain are now. I can feel it. I'm ejected, separated. I feel like I've been freed, but with a strange sense that I've been regurgitated. That entity is no longer with me. I'm dumped. I'm no longer lost among the stars. I'm a mind tagged to a loose, invasive genetic code inside my niece. My family has taken me in, I suppose. She's running this. I gotta check myself out, feel where I'm at. I can see through her eyes. Now, I don't do short-term things, not as I am. I'm floating and can be discovered, but not seen. Her monotonous days pass my consciousness like strange dreams. Untethered from the body, my will is immediately called into question. I can leak. I can ooze. If I relax too much, this body will burn out, leaving an unbefore-seen mound of waste. That's a premonition of mine. Now, I know I could rewrite her. It'd feel good to be so productive with myself. But I don't need to run on her time. I keep myself dormant. There is much to learn, so I tread softly with a 3-year plan. And just my luck, it happens in 1. At the perils of at least risking cancer, her eggs are hijacked with what I feel is the source of my mind. I steer her to have a child. Now it's trickier than I had thought, and in the end, we're born having to use dad's and niece mom's genetic sources. Our life will be, has been, a balancing act, trying not to assail Uncle's influence. It's not a fight, more like an understanding. So back to square one as ever, but we have a delay. Betraying my birth essentials with my source threatens to implode us to a supernatural extreme. My body develops, latching onto the mass amounts of information that contain me, but it's weak, so I oblige it with a mere trickle. The body is tenacious, and by the time it's 3, we've come to like our birth name, Lillian. Grandpa, our brother, Brojipa, he watched me sleep with a knife at his side, every night. My body visualizes memories of when Uncle would kick his ass. We are young, still. Brother Grandpa sits himself insane while he recognizes us. Our brow, our chin, something about our cry. The bit of Uncle that is in Mom hasn't stopped either. While we're a baby, spewing contagions on Dad, Mother morphs cautiously. Mom's so developed when we're 6 that on private occasions, should she spit in Dad's mouth, there's a trade of Uncle's source. Dad is really different. He's from outside the bloodline, and that matters enough that his body needs to be lightly adapted. We're patient. We're not running on his time. We're 14, powerful, and pregnant. As soon as possible, we're safely delivering a gross, domestic byproduct into an unfortunate midwife's hands. The child is so reckless, so unstable in potency that our caregiver, by mere proximity, is overwhelmed. And hemorrhaged at a level of genetic existence, she melts. She is so gone that her traces are erasing themselves. The water, the whole debacle, and even Lillian's legs would have been degraded if we weren't saved. Brojapa was good for that, and he had been good for us. There is no time to explain. Long dormant hyperdoses of our conscious code demanded Roy's vessel be caught up. Now, we hadn't done this before, and Lillian's still growing bones gave themselves wholeheartedly to the assault. We needled Brojipa through busted fingers. Mother's tongue is split like a torn raw fold, a bruised rim hilt beholden to the protrusion. Her stinger broke off, and so too did some of Lillian's fingers. Riddled excessively with cartilage quills, Brojapa spilt his guts bleeding over our bodies. Where his gore fell upon Lillian's skin that night, Roy left a smudgy imprint that would burst in hives and pocks. Near instant and swelling. She'd be fine. It's gonna take me years to iron these out. And we'd been chipping away in Roy for long enough to guarantee little struggle. Everyone's predatory incubators had an incurable scarring toll. Adrenaline almost overdid it, and the old little bastard was shot so full of this genetic material that we had been storing, his body rushed to relocate it. All of it. Boils conquered his back. Roy could have left, like Uncle did, but the man didn't get gone or plea. He just stood by his family. Thanks to him, we can farm. Super condensed repetitions of my consciousness swell under his skin. Roy's exhausted, held captive in delirium. His confused body denied both sleep and wakefulness. I haven't felt this big since I first left my body. Brojipa, Nima, and Dad, they're all running, but there's so little of them left. Appearances dwindle, and I can't walk them too often. The more Lillian and I amass the condensed information in our kin's flesh, the further we can see. I keep her from pregnancy for many years. By the time she delivers Connor, we're 35 with the child's marriage already arranged. It's not set in stone, but I can see from atop the shoulders of the others around us. My family, and one day my husband-to-be, are hidden in plain sight. I can walk them to public appearances now, but it's like I have to zip their skin, realign their faces with an unseen weaving. It's dangerous to their bodies, but I'm siphoning super juice from their soft, overloaded growths. So totally worth the bruise, they puncture themselves, and a special recipe calls loads of my code to hemorrhage. Osmosis capable and good for hive health. Just 2 fingers, dunked in boil gunk, applying soft pressure and face rubbing the secretion, a nutrient-rich face mask was developed and has been perfected. Even small doses of it can be scented and shared, acting as a near-instant compatibility test. If we're not careful and patient, our family's skin might break. And Roy's the sort that would bleed out and pass on. I could grab my boyfriend, Lillian's life partner, any day and throw him into Roy's sloppy, submissive body. Give my man a fortnight and he'll have my brow, calmly giving me access to his minor systems. That's a little too dramatic for my taste. Instead, I jar the genetic perspirant and tell my lover it's coconut oil. I'm as close to my fiancé as needed. We can adapt to him so well, it's meant to be. There's no rush to risk stretching it out. Time and sanity, those shall be my tools as we slowly traverse mankind's faces. We'll nestle in and not take over the world, but live among it, walking our line. 5-minute punch. 13 pilots due July 31st. Come around.